Hello, friends. This is another episode of the program Empire of Lies, in which we discuss manipulation and disinformation in the Russian media. The illusion of peace, how Moscow offers. Europe capitulation under the guise of reconciliation. Olga Skabeeva's December 22nd evening edition of 60 Minutes is presented as good news. The end of the Ukrainian conflict is already on the horizon. Donald Trump is supposedly about to decide on a meeting with Vladimir Putin. Lavrov and Rubio are continuing to prepare for the summit, and Hungary represents the interests of peace. At first glance, this seems like diplomatic intrigue. In reality, it's a carefully constructed narrative in which peace means not ending the war, but consolidating its consequences. And Europe is not a mediator, but an obstacle. What sounds like a chronicle of negotiations on air is in fact an ideological project for peace without Ukraine and without Europe. Let's consider what exactly Russia is offering the world in this framework, and why it is important for Europe not to succumb to the illusion of a quick settlement. 1. Peace is coming, but not for Ukraine. The program opens with the words, "The end of the conflict is near." This optimism echoes against the backdrop of reports of new massive strikes on Ukrainian energy infrastructure, thermal power plants, substations, and oil terminals. Destroyed infrastructure and blackouts are treated not as a tragedy, but as the inevitable backdrop to a future agreement. Then comes the usual substitution of concepts. Russia is allegedly not against peace, but only sustainable and long-term, not a short-term ceasefire. Translated into plain English, there can be no ceasefire without recognition of Russia's occupation of Donbass and Ukraine's neutral status. Anything that doesn't fit this format is called fake news and information farce. Thus, long-term peace turns into a frozen conflict that Moscow can unfreeze at any moment. According to Reuters, Moscow handed Washington a memo confirming the previous conditions for a peace agreement. According to the publication, Russia demands full control over Donbass and non-aligned and neutral status for Ukraine. We're currently on a roller coaster with ups and downs. But Putin isn't on a roller coaster. He's on a train, and it's moving smoothly, never deviating from its track. It could be argued that it was the threat of Tomahawk missiles that prompted Putin to call and try to stop this process.